What's up guys, Lee Ryder here, Crypto Didact, and welcome to video number 5. We started diving into the different specific market auras. Today in this video we're going to be covering market aura number 2, which is volume. We're going to cover why volume is important, some ways that I use volume, and then adding on to yesterday's or the previous video about trend, we're going to show you some trends in volume. So let's get to the charts.
Alrighty guys, well welcome to the volume lecture, market aura number 2. So this one's going to be a little quicker because it's a little more basic, but still very important, because volume is the second piece of raw data that we're going to use for technical analysis next to price. So what is volume? Well, volume is the total number of contracts, bitcoins, altcoins traded in a given period of time. So this is going to give us a total volume. So for instance, trader 1 buys 100 bitcoins, trader 2 buys 600 bitcoins, and then trader 3 sells 1,000 bitcoins. Well, the total volume is going to be 1,700 because total volume is not dependent on buying or selling. So down here we can see that this is what the volume chart looks like. Now this is just the basic total volume chart. We'll get into some different tools later in the tools section of the course. We'll cover on balance volume and stuff like that, but today this is what we need to know. So what are the benefits of tracking volume? Well, it's very important for validating support and resistance levels. You can imagine if you have a glass window and you throw a little pebble at it, it's probably not going to break the window, but if I reach down and I grab a handful of rocks of different sizes and I throw at the window, I'm gonna have a much better chance of breaking through that level. And this is why we use volume as a secondary indicator for that. It also allows us to identify accumulation and distribution trends, or buying and selling. And so with that said, let's look at some charts. Here's a very good example of what I mean by that. So as we can see, price is in a downtrend right here, and you can see volume through this period is also pretty weak. It's moving like this, right? Not super strong. Well, when we get this break through this area here, through this trend line, we get this gigantic mass amount of volume, and this is very important to validate that this is a good break, because when you break these levels, like I said with the window, you need some volume and some mass. So we haven't really talked about these like trend channels and all that stuff. We'll get to that later, but for now that's what you need to understand, is a validation of this breaking. Same thing here, we have another pattern. This is called a flag or a pendant, and when we break through right here, you can also see we get this big volume spike. So once again, very important for confirming that we are indeed breaking through the level and we're not getting some false breaks. Like as you can see here up against the trend line, and then down here, volume is very low, and so not likely going to contribute to a support or resistance level break. So next, here's another example where we have some longer term trend line here. So we have this area here, and then we came up to it here, and as you can see, low volume. So once again, not an indication. In fact, actually on this one, the green, we actually have decreased volume, so that's a good sign that we are not going to break through the level at that point. But as you can see right here, as we approach it and break it, we get a massive spike in volume, which continues for 3 bars. And so this is a good indication that this was a valid break and that price is going to continue higher. So that's it, guys. That's volume. It's pretty basic. Like I said, in future videos we're going to go over some more tools dealing with volume, like on balance volume, and looking more into trend line breaks and confirmation and stuff like that. But there's the basic overview. That's how we use volume, and we'll see you in the next video.